I was going to carry on with our story for today. So it's Oliver Moon and the Spider's Spell, Chapter 2. After breakfast, Oliver left his sister playing with her spooky magnets on the fridge and went up to see his mum. Yes, came a feeble voice when he knocked on the bedroom door. Oliver went in and gasped at the sight of his mum in bed. Her face and hair grass green, her eyes dull and tired looking. He felt really guilty about complaining to Dad about the chores now. He had never seen Mum look so ill. Hi, Mum, he said. Do you want any breakfast? A cup of cockroach coffee? Mrs. Moon coughed loudly, making the bed shake. A glass of pond water, please, she said in a weak voice, and a slice of prickleberry pie would be nice too. Thank you, you're such a good boy. Oliver, she sneezed 3 times and shut her eyes. Okay, Oliver replied. He ran out to the garden and filled a glass of murky brown pond water, then went to get some of the pie. Dad had cooked it for tea yesterday, and Oliver had noticed there was a slice left in the fridge. But when he went to the kitchen, he saw the fridge door was wide open, and his sister was busily emptying the contents. Yum, yum, me have more breakfast, she said when Oliver ran over. She had toad jam all over her face and her fingertips were bright purple. And oh no, what was that smeared all over the floor? You've wrecked the last piece of pie. Oliver cried in dismay. She seemed to have trodden on it, as there was prickleberries oozing between her toes and bits of pastry squidged on the tiles. Wrecked the pie, his sister agreed. She scooped a berry from under the big toe and offered it to Oliver. You like? No, he snapped, I don't like. Mum wanted this for her breakfast, and now you've ruined it. Ruined it? The witch baby echoed thoughtfully. Then she carefully peeled a strip of pastry from the sole of her foot. Me give this to Mum, she said kindly. She like it? No, Oliver sighed. She not like. He looked in despair from his sister to the glass of pond water. Look, stay there, he ordered. I'm going to take Mum her drink, and then I'm going to clean you up. All right, clean you up, his sister sang, lying down and rolling in the pickleberry mess. All right. Oliver gritted his teeth as he left the room. He hoped Dad would come home soon. His sister was proving hard work already, and he'd only just started looking after her. Upstairs, he carefully set the glass of the pond water on his mum's bedside table. Here's your water, he told her, and there's been a bit of a problem with the pie. Could I get you anything else? His mum's face fell in disappointment. Oh, she said, that's a shame. I did really fancy the pie. She blew her nose loudly and sighed. Never mind, thanks for the water. Oliver tiptoed out of the room as his mum closed her eyes and seemed to go to sleep. Maybe he could make her a new pie. Yes, that would cheer her up, wouldn't it? There were loads of prickleberries in the cupboard. He could stew some up on the cauldron. Oh, no, he couldn't. Dad had taken the cauldron to his service, hadn't he? Oliver sat at the bottom of the stairs thinking. Did he dare go next door and ask Mrs. Beadbristle if he could borrow her cauldron? She was such a dragon. She would probably shout something horrible at him and slam the door at his face. But maybe, just maybe, if he was really polite and explained about Mum being ill and wanted to make a pie for her, then there was a chance she'd help. Surely not even Mrs. Beadbristle could say no to that. Let's sort you out then, Oliver said to his sister. After he cleared up all the mess on the kitchen floor and set their wands recharging, he led her to her bedroom and took off her pyjamas. Then pinching his nose, he undid her nighttime nappy and cleaned her up. Me smelly, she said proudly. Oliver coughed, his eyes watering. You certainly are, she said. He put a clean nappy on her and some clothes. Then he took her back downstairs. Right, come on, he said. Let's get this over with. Let's go and visit old Badger Breath Bristle. He helped his sister on with her shoes. They went to the house next door. Snakes hissed as they approached, and a yellow-eyed cat snarled, showing sharp white teeth. Oliver pressed the doorbell, which made a sound of a wolf howling. Ow! Coming, moaned a grumpy voice from inside, and Oliver heard the loud tramp of footsteps. Then the door was flung open, and there stood Mrs. Beadbristle, glaring down at Oliver and his sister, her meaty arms folded over her chest. What do you want? She snorted. Ringing my bell for fun, are you? Think it's a joke to disturb me? Oliver trembled. No, I just, my mind's gone blank. He felt transfixed by Mrs. Beardbristle's furious scowl. The witch baby didn't seem the slightest bit scared, though. "Old Badger Breath," she said. Ollie said, "Old Badger Breath, Bristlebeard, Badgery, Badgery." Mrs. Beardbristle's eyes looked as if they were about to pop out. "Of all the nerve," she shrieked. "Of all the rudeness, wait till I tell your parents." And she slammed the door right in their faces. "No, wait," Oliver cried. "Mrs. Badger, I mean, Beard Badger," I groaned. "Oh, no." He opened the letterbox. "I'm sorry for what she said," he called through it. "Please may we borrow your cauldron? My mum's ill and—" But before Oliver could say another word, a bar of soap had shot out of the letterbox straight into his mouth. Naughty, rude children need their mouths washed out. The soap champed as it rubbed itself all over Oliver's tongue. "Ooh!" Oliver wiped the bubbles from his chin with his cloak, and the soap whizzed towards the witch baby. "Oh, no, you don't," Oliver said, making a grab for it. It zoomed right through his fingers, though, and washed out his sister's mouth too, making her cry in dismay. "And don't come back," boomed a voice from upstairs window as the enchanted soap finished its work and flew back to her. "Nasty little things. Go on, get away from my house." Oliver took his sister's hand and led them home. She was still crying and blowing soap bubbles from her mouth. What a disaster. Now he'd never get a cauldron and wouldn't be able to make a pie for his mum. And Mrs. Beardbristle was probably already composing a furious magic message to tell his parents. He was going to be in so much trouble. Back in the house, Oliver left his sister playing with her pet spider, Harry Horace, and some toys, then went to the kitchen. The spare cauldron was in the cupboard, but that was no good for berry stewing. It was just too small. Then his eyes fell upon his wand, where it sat recharging in the power pod, and he stopped, his mind racing. A brilliant thought had just struck him, a brilliant thought that would solve everything. Oliver grinned and snatched up his wand. "Yes," he whooped, "I am a genius." We'll leave it there, and we'll see what Oliver gets up to next in chapter 3. Bye.